The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Vixens Who Rule. I'm very excited today. Very excited. I just wrote a blog on our website about why Baskets is my absolutely favorite, not only news show on television, it's my favorite show on television, period. I absolutely love the show. I love the characters. I love the drama of the show and the comedy of the show. It's a great mix. And I have a star on that show with me right now, Sabina Sciubba, who plays the lovely and the beautiful Penelope. Sabina, how are you doing today?
Very good. Thank you, Vince.
Sabina,
and you?
It really is. It is an absolute thrill that you are on my show because I watched Baskets religiously. I absolutely fell in love with you. Now, do you want to know at what point I fell in love with you?
Yeah, but is it done? It's not done yet, right?
No, but I fell in love with you in the first episode.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to know what made me fall absolutely in love with you?
Go ahead.
When you're on the phone with Chip and you say to Chip, "You are not a clown." I fell in love right then and there.
That's how you say clown in French, you know?
I would think so. But listen, Sabina, I got to tell you this. I'm a fan of the show. I was a fan of yours. So I started researching you. And I did not know you are a performance artist. You are a singer. You have a band called the Brazilian Girls. You just released a solo album. And I got to tell you, I started watching your music videos. Yeah. I absolutely became a fan of your music. I didn't even know you did that.
That's the whole idea.
Well, so that would lead me to my first question. You live in Paris now?
I live outside of Paris.
Mm-hmm. And that's basically where your music career is right now, correct?
Well, I mean, I travel mostly for performing.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been everywhere. I mean, you were born in Italy. Then you moved to Germany. Then you spent a lot of time in New York, and now you spend a lot of time in France, correct?
That's correct.
See, I did my homework. You like the way I did my homework, don't you?
I love it. It's great to hear my life like that.
But now I have to ask you this. You're a performance artist, the Brazilian Girls. I've seen some unbelievable videos. Would you mind if I talk about a couple of them?
No.
I watched Don't Stop Till I Come In, which was fascinating. Pussy, 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 Marijuana, one of my favorites. But then here's the video I love the most. You have a new album out. How do I pronounce that album?
Toujours.
Toujours. Did I say
that? Means
okay?
Always.
Always. Toujours. I love the video with you being naked on the donkey.
That's me.
Now,
That's my...
and not only that, I saw a live performance where you have a black bar over your top and your bottom. All that creative side of you, is that all you? You know, the videos have such a feel to them, and they're outside of the box, and I love them. What you wear when you perform, is that all you?
It's all me and my alter ego. Definitely.
So you mean to
trying to have some fun, you know?
So you're a different... Now, you mentioned you were we missed each other a little earlier for this interview because you were preparing dinner and you're taking care of the kids. So now your performer is a whole different persona?
No, you know, my kids call me the super mom.
Do they really?
It's yeah, I mean, I suggested it to them, but they do say it. You know, it's great, you know, best of all worlds.
Now, how long have you been performing music? Because I mean, I would think it started first and foremost with you being a singer.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I've been performing for a long time. You know, if I said for how long, then you could guess my age. So I don't want to. Then again, you went to my Wikipedia page, and I decided to put my age on it.
I did go to your Wikipedia page.
Vixen, as you say.
Yeah, but I did go to your Wikipedia page, but I did not believe the age. I think you're somewhere
No,
between.
I added a couple of years,
Yeah, I think you're somewhere between.
Sophistication.
Yeah, between 28 and 30. I think is fair to say.
That's actually, but just don't tell anybody,
I
I
won't
want
tell anybody.
want people to think I'm mature and sophisticated.
But here's another big deal. I was blown away to see this. And like I said, I was just becoming familiar with the music. I really enjoyed the music. Very relaxing, very mellow, very creative. You don't know too much about me, but I used to write professional wrestling for about 20
Wow.
years. So
Wow, let me know that. Oh, you stopped doing that?
I still do it a little, not as much
I'm
as I
for
used
some
to.
wrestling, man.
You're a big wrestling fan?
No, I'd be up for some actual wrestling.
I could arrange that if you like that. I could make a couple of calls. But I'm very creative. So when I see other creative people, I love it. But here's the thing that blew me away. You were nominated for a Grammy in 2009.
With Brazilian Girls, yeah, our record was nominated.
Now, here's the thing about Brazilian Girls. When I saw that you were with Brazilian Girls before you released the solo album, I was expecting to see all these hot Brazilian girls. But you're the only girl in the group. You and a bunch of dudes.
It's hot non-Brazilian boys, the equivalent. But the truth is that the band we're still together. We just actually released a single of our next record called Critic, which you can find on all musicians' antithesis. What is it called? Spotify.
Spotify, very good. I know Spotify. Well, how long has the band been together?
We've been together for 13 years.
Wow, that's tremendous. So the solo album is just a solo album, but you're still together with the Brazilian Girls.
Yeah, I'm doing both, because it's a bit of another aspect of my personality that I really want to develop. I mean, that I really have developed and that I need to express. So
yeah, and
there's always a bit more of the. It's like it's a bit as you heard. It's an electronic, sort of very festive and kind of jazzy electro thing,
Yeah, you know what I said when I don't listen to that kind of music, but I gotta tell you, I was talking about you to somebody, and my daughter, she's 20 years old, very hip, into everything. She's a diva. I'm an old man. But I was talking to somebody about, pussy, 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 marijuana, and my daughter immediately said, I know that song. And I thought that was fascinating.
You should wonder why.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Ask yourself why. No, that song, I mean, the truth is that it's ironic how that song became almost like our, how do you say it, carte de visite, our personal card, because we wrote it during the Bush years, 2003, when it was all censored. I mean, there was some real censorship, there was like a song that couldn't be released. I mean, the record company Verve at the time released it, but it couldn't be played on the radio. And it was like if you remember, it was very dark, very uptight moment, and that's also what the outfit with the censorship stripe came from, because it was a moment of censorship where everything seemed to be censored except for killing on TV, just I don't know, weird logic there. Like no boobs, but killing.
No, I hear you. I mean, that's absolutely insanity.
The breasts stand for life and growth.
Exactly.
So I'd rather have that than somebody. But in any case, so that song really was all about that. It was like an anti-Bush and like trying to stay light in a dark period sort of song. And then everybody took it really literally.
Well, Sabina, I want to ask you this, because you are no doubt, listen, and I urge everybody, I went to YouTube, I started getting hooked on Sabina's videos and and the Brazilian girls. I really started, because again, I'm a creative guy, and Sabina really does play a character on stage. The way she dresses, the way she presents herself, and some of the videos too are outrageous, especially like I said, Don't Stop, an outrageous video. But Sabina, I have to ask you, since you are a performer and you are a character and you are on stage, and I was also blown away. I'm a huge David Byrne fan. You did something with David Byrne, correct?
Yeah, true. Yeah, he was part of, he's very very humble and somebody who still goes around and goes out to listen to music. And so he came a lot to Nublu, which is a club in the East Village where we played a lot with Brazilian girls, where we actually started playing together. And he came there too, and there was a Brazilian group of friends that played there, which is Forró in the Dark. He did songs with them too. And so he was hanging out, And then we asked him if he felt like singing on a song. He's sure.
Now, Sabina, I have to ask you this because you really are you are a performance artist. So you have the performance and you have the music. What was your first love? Was your first love music, or did you have ambitions to be an actress? Before you got the role in Baskets.
No. I had. I've been singing for a really long time. That's really been my thing since I was a child. Really.
So now, how did the role come along?
That was Zach. He just called me and he was, he needed a Penelope and he remembered me and called me up.
Now, when you say he remembered you, did he see you perform at some point?
Yeah, when he was living in New York, he saw Brazilian girls perform, and then we met a while after when I did a sort of a musical fairy tale at the Lincoln Center, and he came to see that, and I was pregnant. And he said, well, anyway, I won't tell you what he said, but so we were sort of loosely in touch, and I lucked out. He's a great guy. He was just very generous, getting friends involved,
Yeah, but that was really, now, is this really your first, acting gig? You're performing when you sing, but is this like your first real legit acting gig?
Officially, yes. It's the first I would really talk about. I have a couple of skeletons in the closet, but I won't really tell anybody about it.
Now,
not that I was a porn actress. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, so let me ask you this: when Zach calls you about this new show and about this character Penelope, do you immediately say, "Yeah, I could do that," or do you try to get some quick last-minute acting lessons and go to acting coaches, or do you kind of just get that acting ability out of performing on stage?
Well, I think that first of all, they were pretty much looking for non-actors, really, And I really see that because I myself have issues sometimes when I watch films, when I find that you feel that the actor is very much in the head, in his energy. Like I know exactly what that is from making music. When you're on stage and you're in the head and you're thinking about anything, if you're thinking, it's dead. Forget it. And if you're in it, and if you're feeling, then it usually is a good performance. And I think that in acting, in a way, it's kind of the same thing. If you have, some people are probably so beyond that they transcend their training and then they don't think about it anymore. But in my case, I think that maybe training would just make me think about it too much and I'd be all contrived. And so I just went for it and, I kind of played myself on a bad day sort of thing.
Now, I got to tell you this, Sabina, sitting back and watching this show, and I've heard a lot of the a lot of the interviews, and I know Zach says that a lot of it is ad-libbed, and I've seen I've seen so much of Zach's material, and it's phenomenal,
right.
And Martha is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh. I'm so in love with her. She's amazing.
She's unbelievable.
And she's just like that.
Yeah, all the characters are unbelievable.
Playing herself. And Louis, in a strange way, who's maybe the highlight. Of in a way, for me, it's a discovery because I didn't know his stand-up comedy. Because I didn't live in America, and I think he was maybe more well known in America than outside of America. And for me, it was just amazing to see him. to see how he translates on screen, because I had a bunch of scenes with him and just. But it's the same with Zach. It's actually, for me, being new to the acting world, I really it was so, as I said, I lucked out because working with these people is just pure flow. There's zero contraption of ego, nothing. It's just very kind and trying to really be sincere and trying to just be there, and listen and try to make shit up, and Zach particularly doesn't do the same thing twice. I mean, in any take, he just never did one thing twice that I saw,
Well, Sabina, that's what I have to ask you, and I'd love you to walk me through this because I love the process. Basically, you're given a script. It's all down in black and white, and it's all on paper. But when you're performing with Zach, he starts ad-libbing, and all of a sudden there are things in there or that he's saying that are not in the script.
Definitely.
Yeah, you have to react to that, and this is what Zach does for a living. You're a singer,
Right.
so I would have to think that is very intimidating and difficult for you to be able to go toe-to-toe with somebody that great, no?
Well, in the contrary, actually, when we did the pilot, I thought it was going to be all according to the script, and that I thought was more intimidating. First of all, because maybe I wasn't as well prepared as I should have been, and secondly, because because it's more intimidating having to stick to exact wording and stuff like that. And then I saw Zach just being completely, doing the script once, and then there's also Jonathan, who gives you a lot of freedom and lets you just really try everything out you want to try. And then if he doesn't have what he needs, then he'll give you some direction, but he's very little invasive, and controlling. So that's really pleasant. And in the pilot, I saw that Zach did that. And from then on, only I realized that I can do the same. And that's actually much more fun, really.
Yeah, but that's a craft. Like
But that's what comes closer to performing on stage.
Got you.
Because I mean, there are some people who have a routine which they will follow literally word by word. But most performers, that's what you're used to. It's just reacting to either the audience or whoever's in front of you. If it's an actor or the audience, in the end, it's pretty much the same thing. You're just trying to transform the moment into something else or improve it, let's say,
Yeah. Now, Sabina, let me ask you this. Louis C.K. is one of the executive producers and creators of the show. Is he very hands-on?
I didn't. I mean, I think he probably is, but I haven't met him. Because I didn't have. Well, I wasn't there all the time. I had a bunch of scenes, but I mean, there was a lot of shooting when I wasn't there, and I know that Louis came to the set. But not when I was there. Unfortunately, I would have loved to meet him. I'm a big fan. I think he's a genius.
Now, Sabina, I have to ask you that. Do you know what the word? I don't know if you use the same word over in France that we use here. You know what the word mark means?
Mark?
Like a mark. Like I'm a mark for you and the show. You know what that means?
Oh, no, I don't.
That means like I'm just a total fan, and I'm going to ask you every stupid question in the book. Is that okay with you?
Be my guest.
Sabina, I got to ask you this. There was a whole episode that was pretty much built around you and Louis Anderson. And it was when he called your father and he had you sent home. It was that episode. But I got to tell you, there were parts in that show when a lot of scenes in the car, when you were sitting next to him, where it really looked like you were having a problem not laughing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, was it like, is it different? Like when you're looking at a grown man dressed in drag as a woman, with that voice, and he's so freaking funny, is that difficult at times for you to kind of sit there with a straight face and just get your lines out?
No, actually, I didn't have that problem because Louis is a very sweet man. Very, very, very sweet man. Very kind, as is Zach. I mean, that was really what struck me the most, that this was a combination of a couple of people together who were all very kind. So is Martha and Jonathan. It's like So it didn't make me laugh, especially because he was being completely natural. He wasn't acting. He was just talking with his normal voice, you know. So I don't know. It was just natural. It didn't make me laugh most. I mean, it makes me laugh when I see it on screen, and that's actually the incredible thing. How it translates on screen is also very different from what you perceive when you're there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very different. That also is for me a new experience. You know that with Zach too. I'm because they know that their craft. You know, so when you're with them shooting a scene with Zach, that happened to me, and I was like, wow, really? He's doing that, and really, and then I see it, and it totally works 100%
Yeah.
because he knows. You know.
You know what I really love about the show? I love great writing, and like I said, you've got Zach is. There's nothing that you couldn't put Zach in that wouldn't be funny. I mean, nothing. The guy, you look at the guy, you crack up. But you know what I really love about the show? You see, Zach Galifianakis, you see Louis Anderson in drag. You're expecting this to be, and then there's Chip and Dale, the whole 9 yards. You're expecting this to be just, hysterical. The thing I love about this show that you don't expect is the combination of drama and comedy. There are some scenes that are really pretty heavy.
It's a dramedy.
Yeah, it's a dramedy, no question about it. Is it more difficult for you to play comedy than it is drama, or do you find them, equally the same?
I mean, for me, it depends. It depended on the day. As I said, I've done acting such a long time ago when I was very young in a series also in Germany. That's my skeleton in the closet, and it was such a different experience that I don't even remember. But in this case, it was all very much just, it was all very natural and flowing, and sometimes I like myself better than I did others. And then that again, it doesn't really translate either the way that you feel it, So sometimes I thought I was being funny and it's not really funny. And sometimes I didn't want to be funny and it's funny. And, it's just, then it also a lot is in the editing too, That's a big art form also, doing good editing, cutting from one scene to the other can be so funny. And in Baskets, I think they use that a lot, good cuts, like.
Yeah, you know when a show is good and you know when a show is cut well and the acting is tremendous. It's when the show flies by and it's over and they say next week on Baskets and you're like, it's over like that. I mean, it goes by so quick because it's
also just 20 minutes. So
yeah, I know, but still, it just seems to fly by. Now, Penelope, I just called you. Yeah. Look at that, Sabina. See, you got me believing it. I'm a little concerned about this, though. Please, put my concern at ease. You've signed on for a second season, which is absolutely tremendous because this is the kind of show, and Seinfeld was the same way. I think this is the kind of show that's not necessarily going to catch on to the masses right away, but this is going to be word of mouth, and the more people find this show, the bigger a hit it's going to become. So I was thrilled to see you've signed for a second season, but as the first season is going on, we see like less and less of Penelope. Penelope was sent home now. We only see Penelope on the phone. Please tell me Penelope's still in season 2.
I don't know. It's not written, But actually, I don't know which episode is playing now, but there's one episode, the one before last, I think it's the 9th, where you see a bunch of Penelope. In fact, I'm not going to tell you how, but anyway. And I hope, man. For me, it was so nice. I would love to just be back big time. I kind of, it was terrible for me to be mean to Zach, to Chip.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was awful for me to be sent home by his mom, by Louis, and Louis too. He was really depressed. We were really depressed that day. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was like you were really crappy when he bought the TV and you had that other guy over there. I mean, you were really
and
crappy.
That other guy, that was golden too, man. It was amazing.
Yeah,
but
I think tonight's episode, if I remember, last week's Coming Attractions, I think.
Oh, that's right. It's tonight.
It's tonight. FX Baskets. I believe tonight Zach Chip goes back to France to you. Does that happen in one of the episodes?
That's the episode I was talking
Yeah,
about.
that's tonight.
That's the Parisian episode. That's the one we shot almost all in Paris.
Is that a lot easier for you? I mean, is it much easier for you when you're at home and you're shooting rather than have to come all the way over here to the States?
No, no, it was nice for me too to be in Los Angeles and spend some time there, and it was good. I sort of went back and forth, so I wouldn't be away from my kids for too long. And it was a bit of a vacation, actually. It was really nice.
Do you have the acting bug now? I mean, your music is great. 13 years, the Brazilian Girls, the Grammy nomination. But now that you've sunk your teeth in something good, you don't have to worry about it being hidden in a closet. Is this something you want to do more of now?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to.
But
I have to see.
you'll
I mean,
always keep the band together.
I'm very much somebody who goes with the flow and just takes what life sort of hands me. So if it's natural, I do whatever is natural, and this was very natural.
Yeah, no, it comes across as natural. And listen, Sabina, I want to tell you, thank you so much for
Oh,
coming.
thank you,
It's a
Vince. It was a
big deal for me.
pleasure.
And listen, Sabina, I got to tell you something. You broke my heart a little bit. I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? I had to work to get you to follow me on Twitter because this way I could brag to all my friends. Penelope's following me on Twitter, not for anything. Then all of a sudden I go on there a week ago. You're not following me anymore.
Oh no, I'm going to follow you again. I'm sorry about
It's,
that.
you
I'll follow you
gotta
again.
follow. I mean, that's how I.
I'm really bad with all these applications,
You
actually.
gotta go. You gotta hit the follow you so we could follow each other. We could talk. Me and you.
I,
Because I
I
think
know.
we're good friends now. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. No, no, I'll follow you. As I said, I still have to. I like to spend my time doing other things than being, so I'm pretty bad with these sort of things,
Sabina, if you
internet.
don't mind me asking, how many kids do you have and how old are they?
I have one boy that is 7, just turned 7, and I have a girl that's 4.
And are you still married?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's good. So when you come over here to act, your husband's got the kids. You got a nice, beautiful arrangement.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And plus, my husband's also an artist, so we're all pretty flexible.
Is he a,
As I
si-
said,
is he a singer
whatever.
as well?
No, he's not a singer. He's an actor, and he's a music supervisor and DJ.
Wow. Is it? I got to ask you a question, and I'm not going to keep you too much longer because you've been
No, don't
great.
worry. That's fine.
When you're a creative person and you're married to a creative person, do you think that's easier or more difficult? Because when you're creative in your mind, you don't think like anybody else. You think creative for you. I would think your husband is the same way. He's in a creative zone in what he does. Is that difficult to get on the same page when you have two people that are very creative?
Life is difficult sometimes for anybody. I would think it's not more difficult than anything else.
Yeah.
I think that we all have to deal with our own set of problems, and the artist's life is definitely has a set of great difficulty, of great instability and lack of continuity, and it's not easy, but it also has great freedom and great flexibility and things that other people would die for or kill for,
Yeah.
you know. But you do pay a price for it. You do pay a real price for it, which is, you never really know what's coming or what's not coming. So that I think that's maybe if you two artists, then I would think that the most challenging aspect to that is financial. It's of a financial nature.
Yeah.
Is that none of us has a fixed income. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and you never really know what's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah. Now, Sabina, do you
But it
have
works.
do
No,
you
it
have
works.
any plans on touring over here in the States? Anything set up?
Actually, with Brazilian Girls, we're definitely coming, and I think we're coming to Colorado, but I don't really remember when. But I'm definitely going to post it on Twitter and all the applications.
So
Uh,
was that just an invite to me that if you
it's
come to
definitely when I'm coming to. Where are you in Colorado? In
I'm
Denver?
in I'm 15 minutes from Denver.
Where is it? What is it called?
Denver, Colorado.
But you're in Denver or outside of
I'm
Denver?
15 minutes outside of Denver. You know Boulder, Colorado, right?
Oh, yeah, I do.
I
Beautiful.
live right between Denver and Boulder in a city called Broomfield.
Okay. That's a I love Boulder. That's beautiful.
So are you coming to Denver or Boulder, or you're not sure?
Well, I mean, we played in Denver not so long ago, like, but in any case, if we come, I'm definitely you have a guest of honor ticket
I
to your name.
come, we hang out in the back, we chit chat a
Yeah,
little bit, like two.
absolutely.
Beautiful. That's
Oh, it
now.
will be a pleasure.
Yeah, now I'm a big deal. Now I could tell all my friends that I'm going to hang out with Penelope. That's all they need to know. Well, Sabina, listen, I thank you so much for joining
It's
me
my
today.
pleasure.
It's my pleasure. Sabina Sciubba, Brazilian Girls, Baskets on FX Thursday nights. Sabina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm gonna sign off, but don't go anywhere because I want to give you a personal thank you. You know, between you and me once we're
Okay.
off the air. But
Okay.
everybody, check it out. Baskets, my favorite show on television right now, hands down. Sabina Sciubba, the lovely Penelope. Catch the show. I'll see you all right here next week.
Bye. Thank you.